He's a three-weight world champion who is desperate to be a household name. And this platform
and still WBC lightweight champion of the world.
After I whoop his, we could be cool. It's me versus him. Like, that's what it is right now. My life or your life. And it's my life I'm picking every time. The process ain't nothing new. Because of one fighting is the reason why we turning it up to another level. During my fight week with Zepeda, I had got a question about who I wanted to fight next. Teo was my #1 pick.
You chose me. I ain't choose you. You chose me. So I'm gonna tell you straight the F up. You can go back to 135. We'll send you back to lightweight. You still got the WBC belt. You're gonna be fine. Shakur had a great victory against William Zepeda for the WBC lightweight world title. He's moving up to super lightweight to face me. I think now it's time to see who's going to be the next guy.
Just give me some insight seeing Shakur train for Teo.
Asking too much questions.
No, but you saw that. Like, I'm not asking for a game plan, but let me know what's in store.
Shit, just know January 31st, me and Shakur is going to put on dominating performances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we are the best in boxing, period. Skillfully, physically, any type of you want, whatever you want to do, however you want to call it, I feel like we're the best in boxing, me and Shakur, period. And next week we're going to show it.
Shakur is, to me, one of the best body punchers in the game. He has the Pernell Whitaker effect. He's so slick. People are so mesmerized from his eyes, from his feet movement, his reflexes, that sometimes they don't zone in on, like, why isn't these guys he's fighting just going to him? Well, that's the same thing they used to say about Pernell Whitaker. They used to say that about Floyd Mayweather, is because once you get close to him, Shakur is a very vicious body puncher, and he does good work short range when he's going to the body too. So it's going to be a great fight, man, but I'm going with Shakur all the way. I'm not even second guessing it. And I'm not saying that to knock Teo. I'm just saying, like, matchup wise, I think Shakur can't make it the easiest fight of his career, but he can make it a lot more easier than what people is giving him credit for.
One fighter wants to prove that intelligence wins battles. According to the other moments, define careers. Boxing analysts and professional boxers are debating whether clean execution can outlast explosive intent when it matters most, as Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez get closer to a possible collision. Let's break down what they have to say about it.
With first Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez getting ready to get together in a couple days, 10 days from now, as a matter of fact, out in New York at Madison Square Garden. What do you think about that matchup?
I think it's a great fight. Stylistically, I think it's up and down as far as you can't favor no side stylistically, because you got Teo that's super athletic. You got Shakur that like to control distance, but you know, I think Teofimo, with the athleticism and certain things that he'll be able to close it in certain parts of the fight. So I think it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Richardson Hitchens challenges the idea that this is an easy win because Shakur Stevenson is so hard to touch. Most people assume he cruises, but Hitchens sees a much closer matchup. He emphasizes that Teofimo Lopez is not an easy target, citing his athleticism and defensive prowess as reasons this fight is closer than anticipated, but he still leans towards Shakur, calling him the safer bet due to his superior defense and control. According to Hitchens, everything depends on Shakur's emotions during the fight.
Can you explain how Teofimo's about to fight Shakur Stevenson? Who wins, and what does that fight look like?
I mean, everybody expects me to be like, Shakur's gonna win easily, right?
Well, that's what we think.
Yeah, but I think it's a good fight. I think it's honestly 60-40. I think, you know, obviously favors Shakur. He's the more unbeatable guy because he's hard to hit him, period.
Yeah.
But Teo also has the abilities to not be that easy hittable. Like, right. He's not just a guy you're sitting there to pick apart.
He's also athletic and defensive at times.
Yeah, so I think it's a 60-40 fight. I'm favoring Shakur.
When Shakur perceives actual danger, he is forced to reconsider, adapt, and fight cautiously, which can slow his pace and keep him at a distance. However, Hitchens thinks Shakur will settle in and take control of the fight on his own terms if Teofimo is unable to threaten him and if there is nothing that makes Shakur respect the risk.
And I don't know how Shakur is gonna win the fight. I don't know what Shakur is. With Shakur, it's all about the danger you could put in front of him. That's one thing I do know. If he feel like it's danger and you got his mind thinking and working, you can taint him and make him keep off of you. If Tio can't make him think, if Tio don't got nothing that's like, yo, this motherfucker hurt me, Shakur's gonna have his way with him.
Building on that idea, Keyshawn Davis takes it a step further and suggests Shakur could be outright dominant. He points to an unusually sharp and focused training camp, saying Shakur approached this fight with a different level of seriousness that could show on fight night. For Davis, it's less about Teofimo and more about Shakur fully tapping into his own greatness, and if he does, he believes there's a real chance the fight ends early rather than going the distance.
How dominant do you feel he's going to be against Tio?
I think Shakur got a good possibility of stopping Teofimo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because how dominant he been in this camp.
Yeah? What do you think made the difference? Is it because the opponent? Is it because you guys were all together?
Because his focus level. He just took it a lot serious. Not saying he did in his other camps, but he just took this fight a lot serious. And he got a good chance of stopping Tio, for sure.
Is it because it's Tio, or is it something else that made him focus even more?
It's all because of Shakur, how great he is. He gonna show y'all.
Whereas Oshaki Foster isn't surprised by the shock around the betting lines, but he doesn't put much stock in them either. He says the wide odds are likely tied to Teofimo uneven performances, where some nights he looks dominant and others far less convincing. For Foster, that lack of consistency explains the numbers, but he also believes bookmakers miss the deeper layers of the sport, relying more on trends and public money than on what fighters truly bring into the ring.
A lot of people shocked and stunned by the opening odds. Tio opened up, I think, as a minus 350, or as a plus 350, I'm sorry, where a lot of people expect him to lose. What do you think about that? And we know that Shakur's gifted, but do you think that that's a far stretch, or?
For sure. For sure. But I think they going off of Teofimo being up and down in certain fights he looked this, and then certain fights he looked great. So I think they going off consistency, but I don't really pay too much attention to them odds makers because they really don't really be knowing the background of boxing. Like, they don't know the real, what's the amateurs, the what really people got in them, in the boxing. Like, they just going off, kind of what everybody pouring their money into and what the hype is. But I think it's more of a closer fight, odds-wise.
Soul of it, right?
Continuing that thought, Foster points to Teofimo's physical tools as the biggest wild card. He highlights Teofimo's athleticism and notes that he's consistently looked comfortable against southpaws, handling very different opponents with surprising ease. Because of that, he sees this as a true style clash with a wide range of outcomes, and it could turn into a slow, tactical 12 rounds, or it could escalate quickly if Teofimo manages to force Shakur into uncomfortable exchanges.
That Teofimo Lopez has going for him that may be something that he can put into play on fight night versus Shakur Stevenson?
I would say the athleticism mostly, and it seems like he do pretty good against southpaws. I mean, Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, that's two different styles, two different sizes, and he made it look kind of easy with both of them. So we'll just have to see, man. I think it's gonna be a interesting stylistic matchup because we don't know what we're gonna get. It could be a boring 12-round fight, or it could heat up to where Teofimo make him take chances. So we'll see.
And then we have Malik Scott, who sees Teofimo having moments, but ultimately falling short. He believes Teofimo's speed and explosiveness will keep him competitive early, yet Shakur's depth of skill, polish, and experience should steadily take over. Scott also points out that Teofimo's tendency to overcommit and leave openings is a dangerous habit against someone as precise as Shakur, especially given the southpaw angle and elite jab. In his view, those small mistakes add up, and against a technician like Shakur, they're the difference in the fight.
Is Tio going to do just enough because Shakur may offset him a bit and give him a look that he never seen before? I have Shakur winning. I think Tio Concerning explosiveness, he get it. Rapid speed, he get it. But I think when it comes to the craft and fundamentals, you have to go with Shakur. To me, he's a lot more seasoned. And plus, I just believe Teofimo, he makes mistakes to me you just can't make when you're fighting Shakur.
Like what?
You can't be overcommitting. You can't approach his offense range with your lead hand down, especially since Shakur is a southpaw. Because that means if you're orthodox and you're approaching Shakur with your lead hand down, you're actually closer to what? His jab hand. And we all know Shakur got one of the best jabs, especially from a southpaw standpoint.
Adding on, he identifies the X factors for both fighters. For Shakur, it's all about controlling distance, using his feet and jab to probe, stay out of range, and avoid overcommitting, much like he does against top-tier opponents like Usyk. For Teofimo, the key is precision over raw power, picking shots where Shakur will be, cutting off the ring, and avoiding the overcommitments that could leave him vulnerable. In other words, this fight could hinge less on brute force and more on who executes their strategy with smarter timing and control.
To you, what's the X factor for both in this fight?
The X factor for Shakur, to me, is distance, which he's very good at doing, especially with his feet. Him and Usyk, they both are very good
probing with the jab too, right?
Probing with the jab, keeping the distance, making short steps going back. They really don't overcommit. And with Teo, I think it's going to be, I think like in Teo last fights, I don't know the last time we've seen a Teo big knockout how we used to see, especially since he moved up in the weight class. But I think this is a fight where he should go back to depending on that, not just going so powerful, but he should just pick his shots. He should punch a lot where Shakur is going to be at and not where he's at. He's going to have to cut off the ring. And to me, he really should work on not overcommitting, because overcommitting with the likes of Shakur, with the likes of Usyk.
Following that, Clarissa Shields points out that while Teofimo always carries a small knockout threat, Shakur's combination of focus, skill, and elite experience makes him overwhelmingly favored. She respects Teofimo's athleticism, but sees Shakur as a rare talent. He is disciplined, technically polished, and a true student of the sport, whereas Teofimo sometimes leans more on hype than fundamentals. For Shields, that gap in craft and consistency makes Shakur the clear favorite in this matchup. However, Bruce Carrington takes it a step further, firmly leaning toward Shakur Stevenson as the likely winner. While Teofimo has athleticism and power, Carrington points out that Shakur's style has a way of frustrating him. In past fights, Teofimo has even shown visible doubt and frustration in the ring. That mental edge, combined with Shakur's technical mastery, is what Carrington believes ultimately gives Stevenson the upper hand in this matchup. He adds that if Shakur executes his game plan perfectly, Teofimo will struggle to find any clear openings. According to Aid Oladipo, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez clash in a matchup that could shake up the pound-for-pound landscape. Shakur sits comfortably in the top 10, while a win for Lopez could catapult him into the elite tier, and another victory for Stevenson might even spark debates about him being number 1, especially if he adds a 4th division belt. Oladipo warns that fans shouldn't underestimate Lopez. He's done his homework and already has experience dismantling a top-level southpaw in Vasyl Lomachenko, making this stylistic showdown far more intriguing than most realize. Continuing, Oladipo emphasizes that Teofimo Lopez won't be intimidated by Shakur's southpaw style. Most fighters struggle against southpaws because they're used to orthodox opponents, but Lopez has already faced 2 of the best southpaws of the past decade with Josh Taylor and Vasyl Lomachenko, and came out on top. While neither Taylor nor Lomachenko are exactly Shakur, Oladipo points out that Lopez's experience against elite, tricky southpaws gives him the confidence and preparation to handle Stevenson's slick style. Moreover, Zaquin Moses highlights Shakur Stevenson's exceptional discipline, noting that it's not just about fight week, but it's a year-round lifestyle. Even when there's no fight on the horizon, Shakur is fully committed in the gym, eating right, and living and breathing boxing. For Moses, that relentless focus and dedication is exactly what has propelled Stevenson to the elite level he's at today. He adds that next weekend he expects Shakur Stevenson to take control early, figure out Teofimo Lopez, and simply execute his game plan. While he praises Lopez as a highly skilled and accomplished fighter, recalling how he rose to the top after beating Lomachenko, he emphasizes that Shakur's experience, composure, and ability to control opponents in the ring give him the edge. He's excited to see the matchup play out and how Shakur's craft matches up against Teofimo's power and athleticism. Furthermore, Ray Ford believes that Shakur Stevenson will have a relatively comfortable night against Teofimo Lopez. Having sparred with Teofimo, Ford doesn't see the power that many fans hype. He feels Lopez lands punches more by surprise than by sheer force. Even though Teofimo is big, strong, and athletic, Ford believes Shakur's skill and composure will allow him to handle it, likely cruising to a unanimous decision. On the other hand, Dylan Capetillo sees Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez as a true toss-up. He calls it a 50-50 fight, stressing that at this level, it all comes down to which fighter shows up on the night. Capetillo notes Shakur's elite boxing and defense, but also acknowledges Lopez's strength, forward pressure, and sharpness. He adds that moving up to 140 pounds shouldn't be an issue for Shakur, making the matchup a compelling clash of skill, power, and strategy. But what do you think? Who comes out on top? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more fight breakdowns.